Greetings there, people. It's your cult personality here, ToonKritic's name.
Generic interruption! Generic interruption! Everyone already knows who we are, so please cut to the chase!
Yeah!
Yeah, Kosagos!
Don't Wilson eater, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a round of applause.
Thank you. I hate you all.
I mean, he has a point.
No, but seriously, everybody already knows who we are, so let's cut the theatrics. We have our guest, LittleShyFIM. We're talking about the last Roundup. First positive, go!
All right, rapid fire.
Jack my podcast already, okay.
It's tradition!
Tradition.
Sorry.
Okay. Anyways, welcome back to Roundtable is Magic, the show where we take a look at, fucking Will's right, but you guys know who we are, fine, we're gonna play by Will's fucking rules, fine, there goes the PG rating
okay,
too, fine,
let's
alright.
it down, let's dial.
Yeah.
PG rating.
Okay,
Hang
let's
on, I'll be
just
right back.
throw the rating out the window, let's just throw everything out the window, cause that's just how it is around here, apparently. Yeah, you know us. There's British Ninja, there's Golden Fox, there's Lightning Bliss, there's Voice of Reason, our special guest star, the dude who does everything what's wrong with My Little Pony, Cinnamare Sins, LittleShy.
Hey everyone.
I'm so sorry, this does not... I wish I could say, dude, that this does not normally happen. But now it does.
It's starting to.
And now it's really starting to piss me off, so... Anyways, so...
I love it!
Today's episode we're talking about is the last Roundup. We wanted to talk about this also because I believe, Shy, you requested this episode as well.
Yeah, I guess when it comes to like an episode to pick, I would just have to go with the initial Derpy appearance because it's probably like the biggest episode in the history of the show to me.
Yeah. So how about you start us off first? What is one thing that you liked about the last Roundup?
I guess it's kind of like a joke to me almost because Derpy just steals the show and like I almost... Thinking back to the episode, that's all I think of. I almost don't even think of Applejack being a major character in this one. But
Ouch.
No, I say that, half jokingly, of course. I don't know. It's a fun episode overall, I think. I don't really know what else to say. I haven't seen it recently.
Well, you haven't seen it.
All right.
Well, okay.
I have it pulled open now, though. That should count for something.
I guess it does, yeah. I guess it does. So who do you pass it off to?
I don't know. What sort of order? How does this work?
You
I'm
can
new
pick
here.
anybody. You can pick me,
Yeah, you can pick anyone you want.
me, Ninja, Fox, Voice, or Bliss.
All right, I'll pick you, Toon.
Okay, so let's see. What is one thing I liked about this? I liked that this episode. I don't remember much of it, but I know that it spawned one of my favorite songs from Friendship is Witchcraft, and I know, Voice is glaring daggers at me, but that's kind of why I love this episode because it gave us the best episode in Friendship is Witchcraft.
No. You see, wrong
Rain
again.
Cloud.
The best episode is the Sweetie Bot episode. We've been over this.
I said best song.
Best song. You said episode afterwards.
Well, you know what I mean. Anyways, I'm fine. Ninja, here you go.
Oh, passing it off to me? Okay, well, you heard it here first, folks. The best thing Zach liked about it was that it was easy to parody.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about this episode is the entire... I'm sorry, Blissy, I'm stealing it. It's the entirety of Pinkie Pie. And Pinkie Pie is on form, and she's awesome. Like, I still remember... This is the funniest episode of Season 2 for me. Like... Not only did it spawn the iconic cupcake in my eye, but Pinkie's rage. Pinkie's rage at breaking a Pinkie promise. Oh boy.
Your Pinky promised!
I don't think... Toon, has the PG rating...
The whole perspective of cupcakes.
Toon, is the PG rating already gone?
It's
or-
gone. Will
it's gone.
just
Okay,
took Will
okay.
just took what I was gonna say and threw it out the window. So I'm just like, okay, here we go. We're just going with this.
Oh, okay. Well, I've never quickly shotted myself while laughing than when Pinkie Pie going demonic and screaming at me like, ah! Like, if I was Applejack, I would run too. But yeah, Pinkie Pie was awesome in this episode, especially with the Pickleberry Kumquat and the Chim Cherry Chimichanga.
That's torture. Did you know that's actually a main form of torture, and at least 7 out of 300 areas in Equestria.
Shut up! It's just great. Pinkie Pie was awesome. She was hilarious. I don't have much to say. It's just I'm normally more eloquated, but this episode is just so funny and so sporadic that I suppose it kind of warrants this response. You know, it's really funny. And Pinkie Pie is the main reason because Pinkie Pie is the best. And now I'm gonna pass it off to a man who has many reasons, many voices. It's Golden Fox.
I love how you played on those words. Okay, the thing I love about this episode, and this is completely putting aside the whole derpy fiasco and everything. So the thing I like about this episode is the issue that Applejack was going with, and it's kind of left in the shadows because of derpy and everything. And I'm trying not to rant because it's not the negative part, but the thing about Applejack's character in this one is that, yeah, she's done some jerkish things to some extent, but the fact that she was trying to earn some money and then try to go back to make up for the problem as she promised, I can understand so much weight that is going on with Applejack to the point where I definitely just like, basically, I just loved the issue of what she was dealing with because I can see how relatable that is for anybody who's going through a lot of emotional weight, especially when you have this big of a promise on your shoulders. And I think it's one of the better aspects for Applejack's character. And to me, it's like one of the better examples of adding some conflict to this character instead of calling her a background pony, which, again,
yes,
I'm trying
this is kind of where it started, didn't it?
Yeah, and I'm going to try not to go off a tangent there, so I'm going to hold my tongue and pass it off to... I'll pass it off to Voice.
Voice?
Voicey.
Voice!
He has no
Sorry,
voice.
Skype.
He has-
Sorry, Skype.
Friendship is Witchcraft is the best thing ever.
I heard that. Skype there for a second.
Come on.
Anyway, the thing I like the most about this, the a ton.
Wait, hang on, Voice. Hang on a sec. You cut out there. What was that?
The thing I liked the most about this episode was the homage to I Love Lucy with the
Yes.
in the
Yes.
cherry in the cherry fruit factory.
When Pinky was trying to hold all the berries, and then she was holding them in her mouth.
She probably could have done it too.
Smelling her.
Yeah, I mean, there were plenty of things that I enjoyed. Well, since Ninja took the whole Pinkie Pie thing, I said, okay, well, the next funniest thing in this episode was the homage to I Love Lucy. All right, yeah, Bliss, you're up.
Yeah, at this point, everybody's taking my favorite points, so I'm just gonna bounce off Golden's. Yeah, I liked that everything was so kind of real in this episode. Like, yeah, again, Applejack was basically put a heavy weight on her shoulders to win a lot of ribbons, win a lot of prize money, so they could repair the town's roof in the hall. I completely and totally understand why she didn't want to go back. At first I was thinking, oh, she didn't want to go back because she was embarrassed that she lost. I would say, but that was probably 10% of that. But really what she was more upset about was she made a promise and she felt like she failed, and she still had a promise to keep, so instead of coming back, she basically just sent a letter saying, I'll be back later, I'm going to get the money. Well, she didn't really say in that aspect, which I guess will lead to my negative later. But I like that it was real in the aspect that, you know, if we promise somebody something and we can't fulfill it because the circumstances were no longer in our favor, you still feel that need to fulfill that promise, even if you go about it the wrong way. And that's what I liked about that episode, is that it took things in a real aspect. And I guess I'm the last one, aren't I?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so talk about your negatives.
All right, time for the negatives. Dun, dun, dun.
The negative. Yes, the negative. Now, I know a lot of people will make this an even bigger problem than it is. I remember my negative. I'm not going to go into the Applejack, how she didn't handle things properly. I'm not going to go into that. I'm going to go into the fact that I didn't like how some of the Maid Six weren't really euthanized. I mean, not euthanized.
Euthanized.
Euthanized is something entirely different.
Wait a
Yeah, take the horse out back and get the
Utilize,
shotgun.
utilize.
I'm sorry, everybody. I'm kind of in a twirl. Like, I've been out of the internet for 4 days without my computer, and I've been a little going like stir crazy.
You want
It was a
Applejack to be euthanized? What is wrong with you?
That was a Freudian slip, folks.
Oh, that's great.
Cat's fever, and oh my god, the cat's going nuts. Okay, utilized. Some of the Maid Six were not utilized properly. Like, Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy were used at the end for that epic chase. Twilight was used as being the rational of the group. I mean, Applejack is the focus. Pinkie Pie is Pinkie.
You're cutting out a bit.
No, I heard what she was saying.
Rarity, like, had no reason being there. Really, if I were really be hard, Rarity.
Yeah, you're really cutting out.
Yeah, I can't quite hear you, Bliss.
Internet.
It's
Do your
doing
job
the
correctly.
volume. It's doing the volume thingy again.
Yeah, it's like R-E-R.
Now,
What was that?
am I fine now?
Just barely.
Now?
Are you watching anything?
Oh,
Pause your torrents.
am I fine?
No.
No, for some strange reason.
Well, we're currently having
Plot
technical
twist.
difficulties.
Welcome to Skype.
Am I fine now?
Yes.
Yes.
You're good.
Yes.
Yes.
Where the flop was I?
Rarity was useless.
Rarity had no reason
when is
being
she?
there.
So.
Rarity was
A
useless.
lot of
And
the time.
can I
Go on.
talk?
Yep.
Yeah,
Sorry,
guys, let her talk.
Rarity was useless, and Fluttershy had no reason being there. They totally could have been ignored. So they were just there for the sake of being there.
Not to mention that ending.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pass it
But-
back to voice.
Thing I didn't like about this episode, the mayor.
And bring back extra money. And she was hated on forever.
Yeah, I think it was at that point that like almost everyone like hate like the most detestable person, the most detestable character that lived in Ponyville was the person who was obsessed with money until like I mean hell not even like a filthy rich was like that obsessed. He was like a generic like like business like the businessman stereotype, but he was actually nice about it. She just wants the money.
Yeah, it's spoiled rich who loves the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was around this time where almost like everyone hated the mayor.
Yeah.
And I don't think she even has like. I don't think she like since then. I don't think she's had a like positive outlook. Maybe with the exception of maybe inspiration manifestation, but yeah, I think it was this episode that made everyone hate the mayor. Anyway, I pass it back to Golden Fox.
Okay. All right. Let me just say right now that if you don't like the last roundup, that's fine. Everybody has different opinions over everything they say. So when I go to talk about this particular thing I don't like, don't try to take it the wrong way. I'm just simply pointing out to that if you're going to dislike something, try to be somewhat reasonable about it and understandable about it. And even then, it's all very debatable. Like, I've always gotten into arguments about Equestria games and Newbie Dash and a lot of other episodes in which I'm not going to meander to. So let's just get straight to the point. This is tracking back to what I said on the positive side. I think it's one of the better examples of giving a good Applejack episode. The biggest issue I have with this episode is the surrounding hatred it has. Putting aside the whole Derpy controversy, people have, at the time, hated on this episode for some of the most idiotic reasons. And like, if somebody is bored by the episode, that's fine because entertainment is subjective. But the complaints that I hear are really stupid. Like, one of the big things that I hear is, Applejack lied. She's the element of honesty. Dash wasn't loyal. Rarity was selfish. Fluttershy was a jerk at one point. Other characters had broken out of their elements before. Any other questions? Another thing I hear is that Applejack abandoned her friends, abandoned the town, abandoned her family. No, she didn't. She was planning to bring the money back. She was having a different alternative, considering that her circumstances were out of her reach, as pointed out by Lightning Bliss. Thirdly, the whole entire situation, and this is my absolute favorite, the whole situation and the entire commitment of what Applejack did makes her a coward. You promised an entire city. How do you think you're going to feel if you're not going to deliver a full promise to an entire village? If you think that makes you a coward, I'm sorry, but that is so shallow and so single-minded instead of looking at the full perspective. And because this episode did not receive that much of like a good reputation, there have been other episodes about Applejack, and then it was showing her at her worst, such as Some Pony to Watch Over Me and such. And on top of that, people continued calling her a background pony. But this episode, I just think it was very underappreciated. By the way, Chuggle Debug, it's either or. You pretty much have a huge amount of people. So take your pick.
Yeah.
I needed to get this off my chest because the surrounding complaints that I hear were just idiotic and it frustrated me. So with that being said, I'll go ahead, British.
Oh no, I'm just trying to understand. So your complaint about the episode is people misunderstanding its purpose, which
the worst thing about
fine.
the show is its fandom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's sort of like my complaint with.
Yeah, I know, I get it.
To make a comparison, when I talked about my biggest complaint with Luna Eclipsed
Was the fan interpretation of it.
was fan interpretation, and I not really seeing Luna as a big deal.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just trying to wrap my head around it. I think Applejack could have probably gotten away with all of this if she just mentioned in the letter, "Hey, I'm really tired. I'm going to go on a vacation with a little bit of the money, and then I'll be back soon with all the money."
Well, some people could take that the wrong way and use it like they would assume that she's using it for her own deeds instead of delivering back. And anything could be taken the wrong way, practically.
True. I'd take that over not having anything at all, but okay. My actual complaint with this episode, again, I love this episode a lot. I'd say it's nearly flawless. This is an incredibly big nitpick, and that's how can a 2-cart pony with a Pegasus and, 2 Pegasus, or Pegasi, I suppose, outrun a 4 Earth cart pony with 1 person in it?
Maybe it's one of those flying carts. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a little bit lighter. Only the
4
Pegasus can drag it.
4 Earth ponies, which have been shown to be able to drive trains, were outrun by 2 Pegasi. One of them not, athletic at all.
Wait, you know what I just realized?
What?
Those 4 didn't get paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they didn't. Again, I like the...
also, sorry if I interrupt. Also, they just said, "Lady, you're crazy," and they value their life more than the ransom or the payment that Applejack was saying.
Yeah, I do like the Friendship of Witchcraft version where they offer him a piece of gum and 2 sticks of hay or something like that, and a rubber. I'll give you 2 bits of gum and a rubber bag. She's richer than us. Oh, it's so funny. Yeah, so I suppose I'll pass it back to... Was it Toon?
Yeah, it was me.
Toon.
Yeah, Toon. It's Toon.
Okay. So,
Tuna.
I'm actually from a little bit before, I'm just a little bit... Yeah, this actually will help, because I'm a little bit pissed off, so now I can actually, vent properly about this. So, a little bit of a history lesson about this episode. Now, people that have been watching this or waiting for Season 7 probably don't know about the controversy behind this episode. When it did come out, everyone was flooding over it because, oh my god, Derpy's in it, she's finally talking, yeah. But what ended up happening is that some people decided to complain. Some people decided to complain that Derpy was offensive and was like mocking like special needs and all this other bullshit. So the episode on iTunes got pulled and they replaced it with a different censored version. Everyone got really pissed about that and started calling it Derpygate. And it's because of this controversy that so many people have held this episode in a bad light. And on top of that, people said, oh, no one cares about Applejack. Everyone just wants to talk about Derpy in this episode. That mentality, that initial reaction, the entire controversy is the one big thing that I don't like about this episode. Because, two things. One, the episode was taken off of iTunes. The entire episode, original in clear, crisp, pristine condition, is still on YouTube, unedited. I can understand why people wanted to try and censor it. But here's the thing. We have frickin' Goofy running around, and no one complains about Goofy. And Derpy is basically MLP's version of Goofy. It's really not that hard to draw differences between them. I understand still why some people got pissed off because some people are freaking sensitive. But nevertheless, the entire fandom was in an uproar about this one episode, not if it was good, not that it was bad, because of Derpy. And that's what bothered me so much about it.
Well, there was.
I'd like to add.
Wait, hang on a second.
Yeah, if I'd like to add something.
Yeah, you go first, Fox.
Okay.
Okay. It wasn't just that there were complaints. I don't even know if there were any soccer moms legitimately. However, there is some information that I should add. It's some people said there were no soccer moms involved. It was just iTunes themselves who did not like it and told Hasbro and DHX to take that out.
Well, still some people complained.
Because they thought it was potentially, they were potentially, saw it was a potential offense.
Well, I think the bigger one is the fact that they didn't hide it. The redub was so bad.
Yeah, it was. It was really crappily put together, too.
No, it was wrong.
And you can tell, too. You can tell that it's dubbed poorly as well.
I personally, I'm not really convinced it was even a offensive soccer mom issue. I think maybe iTunes, maybe they did actually hear the word Derpy and correlate that with another word or something. But I think the reason it was edited and changed on all the networks and download and Netflix, I think the reason for the big changes through Hasbro is simply because of trademark issues, because you can't really sell toys with Derpy on it without proving you can sell a toy with the word Derpy on it. And I don't think Hasbro could find a way to prove that, so they had to change it to a generic term, which of course is muffins.
I think it goes
or
back...
Ditzy, one of the two. Actually, did they do that with the Wonderbolts line? Because I think she was part of that.
Yeah, in the credits she was credited as muffins. The word Derpy never came up.
Are you talking about Slice of Life?
No, I meant the toy line. I meant I think.
Oh yeah, and the toy line. Well, it's interesting. On some toys and some leaked prototype artwork of certain toys, she is Derpy, like in the UPC code or on the Comic-Con 2012 toy had some leaked prototype artwork of the word Derpy with a bunch of muffins. So, I mean, that's about where the controversy happened, that they had to take all that out, I guess.
Nevertheless, all that controversy just basically wrecked this episode for when it initially came out. Looking at it now, we can talk about it. We still have to bring up the controversy, but here we can actually talk about it as an episode, as it was intentionally meant to be. So...
Yeah. And I still think the episode deserves better recognition and much better appreciation than the hatred that I pointed out before.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So with that, I will pass it back to LittleShy for the last part. What's one thing you didn't like about this episode?
I guess I would have to agree with you, because the episode itself is really good. It has a ton of funny moments, and Pinky's great. It's a great Applejack episode. So the negative thing would be, of course, all the drama surrounding Derpy, kind of taking away from just enjoying the episode for what it is. So I guess I just agree with you, Toon.
All right, that makes things pretty easy then. All right. And, oh my god, we breezed through this episode. All right, that's cool.
Wow.
I just don't know what went wrong.
I just don't know what went wrong.
Yeah, this is where that came from. But anyways,
it's a mystery.
This by the way, folks, this is going to be the last Season 2 episode that we cover. I know we left out quite a few that you still want us to talk about. We haven't talked about Mysterious Mare-Do-Well, or Ponyville Confidential, or Super Speedy, or Return of Harmony, or A Canterlot Wedding. We understand, but we'll get back to those at some point.
Weren't we going to, weren't we avoiding Super Speedy and other episodes that were being echoed?
Yeah, we were.
Was Super Speedy echoed?
Well, it's not necessarily echoed. In fact, we were not planning on doing a stream of Hurricane Fluttershy until we finally got Dr. Wolf.
We made an exception, basically.
Yeah, and Super Speedy has been talked about to death, and at this point, it's like, we're just going to echo off of each other.
Yeah. So, with that being said, join us next week. We haven't nailed it down. Our supposed next episode that we're going to have is with Peter New. Holy crap. Woo-hoo! We actually did nail down Peter New for one of these nice little interviews. That's going to be fun. And, by the way, LittleShy, thank you for coming on, dude. Greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, guys, go subscribe to him. I'm pretty sure everyone who's here probably already is subscribed to LittleShy, so the dude has more subscribers than all of us put together, so yeah, it's nuts.
Deservingly so.
Yes, absolutely deservingly so.
Thank you.
With that being said, thank you all for watching, and join us on the next episode. Thank you for watching, and stay awesome.